For today, I want to talk a little bit about the value of a software testing roadmap. So, I've talked at this subject a few times before, but I feel like it's a good reminder. So, in general, when leading a team, one of the first things that I've kind of done is do an informal assessment of where I feel like the organization is. So, either the organization is brand new or the organization has been around for a long time and I'm brought in to try to improve that. So, I will spend probably 3 to 4 weeks trying to interview different people within the organization or and just really figure out where the organization stands in terms of quality. And then I will use my expertise that I've gained over the years to really figure out where does the organization need to go. And so in my mind, a 1 year roadmap is really where you need to focus on and spend energy in trying to establish that. So, in general, I like to get a series of quick wins to promote the organization, make sure that the organization is headed in the right direction. So, I may do that leveraging automation or something that I feel like could be a good process improvement related to the organization. And so I'm going to get a few quick wins within the first few months and really put that in the roadmap. Another thing that I like to do is really promote the organization in general. So I'll have a series of road shows and really put that in the roadmap. So, for example, if I want to talk about the value of software testing as it relates to test automation, then I'm going to build a roadshow around that. If I want to promote things like performance testing and the value that QA brings to the overall organization as it relates to performance, then I'm going to promote that. But a lot of times I'll start at the basics, right? What is software testing? What is the value of having QA within the organization? So I'll often put those in the front and then get to the more complex stuff at the end. But in general, I want to have a monthly roadshow for a period of 12 months to really build and promote the organization. So that's definitely going to be in my roadmap. A lot of other things related to roadmap could be, for example, tooling, right? We want to bring in more modern tools. We know that's going to take time. So I'm going to put that in the roadmap itself. In addition to that, if we need to hire additional staff or if we need to bring in a consulting organization, then I'm going to put that in the roadmap as well as it relates to those sorts of things. And then processes, right? We want to establish some test strategies. So I want to get that put in the roadmap. And then I want to may put in some standard operating procedures as it relates to how to create a defect, things of that nature. So those sorts of things will be promoted there as well. But what I'm trying to do is really establish where the organization is and where it's headed, right? And so I think a lot of times if people can see that vision and that clarity, then they will have a much better understanding of where we're headed and where we're going. Now, that doesn't mean that the roadmap doesn't change, right? Because this is going to be a living, breathing roadmap of a 12-month period. And sometimes you can be way more aggressive and think you can get a lot of things done. And then other times you may need to be more conservative as it relates to that. So, in terms of building out the roadmap, I feel like you want to be realistic and you want to be conservative and you don't want to rush through some of these things in order to build a solid foundation for the organization. So I feel like it's good to have a balance, but you don't want to rush it and then do a bad job. You want to do it right the first time. and just be realistic about what you're building, right? So I do feel like, though, without this roadmap and without the vision, the organization and the QA department have no clue where we're going. And they don't feel like they're a part of something great that is being built. So, therefore, I do feel like you want to be proactive in these things and not reactive, because a lot of times QA is a reactive thing that takes place, and there's a lot of fire drills and things of that nature that happen on a daily basis. So you want to promote and build something that makes sense, promote and build something that's realistic. And then you can look back a year from now and really see where the organization has gone and see where the organization is headed. QA departments don't build themselves in a few weeks or months. It takes 2 to 3 years to really build a world-class organization. And there's a lot of trial and error in general that happens with all. Let's be realistic about this. QA takes time and it takes effort. And a lot of times there's rework, right? What works in one organization may not work in another organization. So try to be realistic about what works, what doesn't work. Try things, right? There's nothing wrong with trying things. And I think at the end of the day, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you'll really be surprised if you put a roadmap and a strategy in place that is going to work for the organization. So I hope this information has been helpful. I really do feel strongly that roadmaps are needed. And I hope that you've enjoyed this session. We'll have more sessions, just candid discussions about the reality of things. Please and subscribe to the QA Revolution, and we will see you on the next video.